Hello, I'm Jashykins, and welcome to my review of the Pretty Little Liars episode, Mona-Mania. And this episode was, all in all, pretty decent. We learned that Lucas is being blackmailed by Mona, because Lucas basically wanted out of the A-team, because he was just doing little things, so nothing too involved, but yeah. So he's like, I'll just be homeschooled and that'll be the end of it. Of course, Mona being Mona, that probably is not going to work as well as he's expecting it to. So yeah. This episode had probably the most boring portion out of any of these episodes that I have yet seen. That is, of course, Spencer fighting with Mona for the place of team captain of this nerd club thing. I did not really care. And I liked when one of the characters is like, why do you care about this shit? It was boring, but luckily other shit was happening as the competition was going on. Like, we're finding out that Meredith and Arya are now like best buds because they both are very suspicious of Byron. Because Byron, Arya's dad, was probably involved with Allie being killed, might even be her murderer. And we found the hints of this from previous episodes, and this episode he was acting extra fucking suspicious. But of course, I'm not really trusting Meredith as Arya's best bud, just because they weren't really pals to begin with. So yeah, start trusting this woman. Yeah, not really buying it. I'm waiting to see next episode if, something happens between Meredith and Arya. There was no Ezra scene in this episode, but there was an I am from Ezra. So yay. Let's see what else. Well, Mona is trying to get some sympathy from the liars, but that doesn't really work by the end. And as I read on some little discussion thread on IMDb, people are wondering quite rightly, why should they be sympathetic to Mona? Because if you have not watched this show, if this is the first episode you've seen, catch up. And she has done some pretty nasty shit to all of them. So it's like, why? And the girls are really conflicted because whenever Mona makes a sad face, they're like, oh, but they try to be tough, but yeah. It's like the problem I have with them being friends with Allison. It's just like, she was a fucking bitch. Yeah. Let's see, the Byron and Meredith and Arya storyline. But Meredith so far seems to be on Arya's side, but that might just be for this episode. And then Paige and Emily had some scenes together, and I must admit, I'm not a big fan of the whole Paige-Emily relationship. I much preferred Maya and Emily. In my opinion, Maya was the one for Emily, but, Paige and Emily are continuing as a thing, unfortunately. And in this episode, we find out that Paige has lied about having a curfew. and she's just scared silly, and that's the reason why she has been saying she has a curfew. And so as the, this is all revealed when Paige stops in the middle of a road that's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And Emily's like, oh, calm down, let's take a little walk in the dark woods. What? It's just stupid. There's a killer on the loose. Paige is afraid of being murdered. And so she's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Let me just go walk around in these dark woods. Yeah, that's not something someone would do if they were scared. Because, let me just tell you, a darkened woods, nice place for a killer. And then when they get back to the car, she's like, I have a flat, and it's just like, and she starts to go, to fix it or see what's wrong or whatever. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Don't you know what's going to happen? Someone wanted you there out in the middle of nowhere, and now they might be, trying to kill you, so yeah, just focus on that fucking wheel. But of course she goes and looks and like, oh my god, the tire's slashed. No fucking shit. There was no flat when you left the car, therefore when you go back and there's a flat and you didn't move anywhere, yeah. And then of course Emily sees something and she immediately starts running after this hooded figure, and Paige is like, oh, I'll just follow her. Of course, they don't find out that the person that did it was Toby, part of the A-team. Yeah. So why? But all in all, it was a decent episode. I enjoyed watching the episode, especially with some of the reveals, like Lucas just actually being blackmailed. We find Meredith on Arya's side, at least for a little while. Emily and Paige are a thing. And, oh, as the promo for next week's episode, I think Toby is finally going to be revealed. In other words, Spencer's going to figure it out. And before I end this video, I will say that, well, I've read on some discussion threads on IMDb, which I've just really started to do, that a lot of the super Pretty Little Liars fans find stuff out by Twitter and fan blogs and such. And I don't have a problem with that as much as it being plot points and shit are, at least from what I've read, are what are revealed on these things, and it's like, those shouldn't be covered in the show. Now, on the show Fringe, which I watch, and sadly, the season finale is going to be on Friday. Well, with that show, I read discussion threads and listen to podcasts and shit to find out about different fan theories. But the thing is, that's always stuff that fans are figuring out. It's not someone saying, oh, we didn't mention this in the show, but this is why this happened. At least from what I've read, so you can agree or disagree down below there. See if I care. And I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. If you want to contact me for whatever reason, hey, we could talk about Pretty Little Liars. You can tell me your favorite parent, if you like this season or not, what your favorite episode is, whatever. You can contact me outside of my blog and YouTube on Facebook at facebook.com/jashykins fan page, or on Twitter at jashykins. Both of those places, if you want to see updates from me where I'll say, oh, I'm going to work on this, or this is the reason I'm not doing this, or sorry, I have to push this back a day, you'll find stuff out there. Hey, if you're watching this on the YouTube, and subscribe, like, comment, share, favorite, whatever you want to do. Just like it. And if you're watching this on my blog, thank you very much for watching. Comment, share this video. Yay! And I'll just end this by saying, until next video, goodbye.